Hello, guys. Listen, welcome to the show. Well, it's not really all that big of news because we've heard the news all along about Brexit. The thing is the British government basically has went into all-out panic mode now at this point. Now that Theresa May's deal is failed with such an utter defeat. I think it's like 95 years since anything has taken such a heavy defeat as this bill through Parliament. Now, here's ramifications it looks like there's going to be a no confidence vote, and then they got 14 days. Otherwise, I guess they're going to hold a general election. Let's take a look at it, and let's open up the charts right here and take a look. It says Corbyn tables motion of no confidence after crushing Brexit defeat for Theresa May. Jeremy Corbyn moved in a motion of no confidence in the Tory government within minutes of the crushing Brexit result. The government has lost the confidence of the House and of the country, he declared, triggering a vote that is set to take place on Wednesday afternoon, soon after the Prime Minister's questions. I think this vote might go through. It said Mr. Corbyn said the result was absolutely decisive, arguing it was now too late for Prime Minister Theresa May to belatedly reach out to the opposition parties. But he faces a struggle to win any such vote, given that no Tory members of Parliament are likely to vote against Mrs. May, a move that would potentially trigger a general election that could propel the left-wing Labour Party into power. I see all of this congealing as the United Kingdom is descending into chaos. What you have here is you have roughly 50% of the people who want to leave the European Union, and they're for a hard Brexit. Then you have another 50% of the people here who want to do a multiple of different things, ideas that they have. One, they want to have a deal like Norway's. Another group want to have another vote, have another referendum. Of course, you have to understand when you vote on something, you just can't go vote on it over and over and over again until you get the desired results. That's not democracy. They voted for a Brexit, and the voters that voted for a Brexit want a Brexit. And so what this whole thing is doing is it's congealing into a moment of chaos on March 29th. This moment is coming. It's fast approaching now at this point. There's nothing out there. There's no other alternative other than a hard Brexit that I can see. It's going to be very hard to stop it. And even if they tried to stop it at this point, you're going to have 50% of the people in Britain who are going to be really very, very, very angry. Now, you have this movement going on in France called the Yellow Jacket Movement or Yellow Vest Movement. And it's already spread to Great Britain. And we've got 50% of the people who are, this potentially, if they try to stop the Brexit, a hard Brexit, I could see this causing more chaos in Great Britain than there is in France right now. And, they're underreporting what's happening in France. It's actually, the situation is much worse. Now, chaos feeds on chaos. This problem, I'll call it a problem, that's going on in France right now. For the government of France, it's a problem, a huge problem. It's not going to go away because the people are dissatisfied. And Emmanuel Macron, he can jump up there and he can do all this more talking, this debate he's trying to plan to settle the people down. This is talking. Talk, 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 talk. That's all politicians do. But at the end of the day, all it amounts to is talk. The people want action. They want food on the table. They want to be able to buy clothing for their children. They want to live a life they had before before the problems arrived. So it's not going to go away. They're very dissatisfied in France. And here's one of the things that really amazes me. I heard that 80,000 police in France are out there. They got more police than they got people. Where do they get 80,000 police? For crying out loud. That's a swarm of police, you know? They have to pay all their... No wonder the people got no money for food with 80,000 police. Are you kidding me? Each one pulling a wage, a salary from the government, and the people have to pay for all of that. For crying out loud. So what are they going to do? They're going to arm all of those 80,000 police with sidearms or whatever, live ammunition? I mean, this situation is just ridiculous. The whole thing's ridiculous, but it's spiraling out of control, and it could spread to Great Britain, more so than France even. Just chaos breeds chaos. And so let's read a little bit more. It says that Labour believes that the general election would be the best outcome for the country if this deal is rejected tonight, he told the Commons. It's vital that the Commons have the opportunity to debate and vote on the way forward and consider all the options available, he added, given that the overwhelming majority of the House voted to respect the result of the referendum. Since 1945, there have been 3 votes of confidence and 23 votes of no confidence. However, only one has succeeded, when James Callaghan was defeated by the Commons in March 1979. That led to a general election in which Margaret Thatcher, Conservative Party, swept to power for 13 years. I'll tell you, that's Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher. She was really some old girl, you know. Quite seriously. I remember when she was in power, you know. Anyway, she wasn't... when Theresa May first got in power, I thought that Theresa May was another Margaret Thatcher. Mainly because, you know, a little bit of a resemblance and everything, you know, but now I can see that she's no Margaret Thatcher. She's no Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was something else. Anyway... so this whole situation is congealing. It's pointing toward the date of March 29th. Now, about a month or two ago, I said it's pointing more toward a hard Brexit. And I said that look for chaos on March 29th. Well, we got other situations that look like they're congealing around the same time frame, including France, but more than just France. Honest to goodness, the slowdown in China right now that's happening is unbelievable. It's not being really felt yet. It's one of those things where it's slowing down by leaps and bounds, and it's going to start to affect the Chinese real estate. You know, part of what kept us going after the crisis of 2008 was the fact that China stepped in with a stimulus you wouldn't believe. They built all these ghost cities and stuff. And this is why the price of things like copper went up so high. Because they were using it so much in their construction. And they were building this infrastructure program in China and just basically taking stimulus and pushing out tons and tons of money. They actually propped up the world's economy, or helped to prop up the world's economy. That, in coordination with the United States Federal Reserve doing their economic stimulus through what's called quantitative easing, billions and billions of dollars in. What it did was it's created enormous credit bubble. And we are heading for a bursting of this credit bubble. At the same time, we've got these problems in Europe that are congealing and growing. Where all of this is going to lead, there is storm clouds brewing like you guys would not believe right now in the world. And I'm telling you, batten down the hatches, guys. This could get really rough. It could all start to come together in around the end of March. So we got a few weeks left, and we're going to have to watch the situation as it unfolds very, very carefully. Now, getting back to Bitcoin, you guys know that I talk about Bitcoin a lot. I do Bitcoin reports on this channel. How is the financial crisis that's coming going to affect cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin? I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is I want you to listen very carefully. The lower Bitcoin goes right now in price, the better it's going to be for Bitcoin later. Now that doesn't sound like it's quite right. It sounds like there's got to be something wrong with that. The lower Bitcoin goes. But what's happening is the lower Bitcoin goes in price, the more likely it's going to start a slow recovery. If this recovery starts, if the timing is just right. So if Bitcoin shoots up in price right now, big time, and everybody's happy for that. Oh, the guys that are invested in Bitcoin, they'd be really happy right now if Bitcoin shot back up to $5,000 or $6,000. They'd be ecstatic, right? But when the crisis hits, if Bitcoin shoots up right now to $5,000 or $6,000, when the crisis hits, then Bitcoins start to fall. And then people get scared and sell. Because this is going to create an awful lot of fear when this thing hits. This thing's like a tsunami, a financial tsunami. And that fear, if Bitcoin's on its way down, if it's ebbing out, then that fear and panic will sell the cryptocurrency. But if the opposite holds true, if Bitcoin reaches a bottom, if it keeps going down now, and it starts to hit a real low price, and then it starts to creep back up, then the investors, when they get scared, they'll see Bitcoin's moving up, an asset class is moving up when everything else is moving down. If the timing is just right, then they'll pounce on it, and they'll buy it, because it's one of the assets that's moving up. So for it to move up like that, it has to go down first. This is the way things work. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. So the lower Bitcoin goes right now, I see it as being a good thing. It's going to show strength later in cryptocurrency. If that makes any sense to you. Listen, thanks you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye, guys.